LA Braun is officially underway, but will the Hollywood drama be too much for the King? Get rid of those Monday blues because Oswego Sports Update Wait, Mike, where's Bo?
Yeah, I didn't see him. Wait, hold on. Okay. Yeah, I'm on it. Bowden Drake D suspended 2 episodes on OSU for spitting on me.
What do you mean?
Week.
I didn't do that.
You spit on me. And
I
you
did
know
not.
You did.
Wait, I did
you
not.
spit on me.
I did not. I didn't do it.
Spit on me.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Oswego Sports Update. I'm your host, James Catato, joined by the regulars, Bo Drake Deese and Mike Morano.
Tonight on OSU, we're talking about the inaugural weekend of Oswego men's and women's ice hockey.
And for this week's Talk of the Town, we got lights, camera, and action. It's showtime, baby. We're going to Los Angeles.
We had a bunch of Lakers play their first home games this weekend, so let's get right into it with the Lakers that actually won. The Oswego State women's hockey team played their first exhibition game on Saturday against the London Junior Devilettes. After quickly trailing by 2 goals early in the first period, the Lady Lakers were able to keep up with the Devilettes' fast style of play. All 4 goalies played for the Lakers and had a combined total of 36 saves on the game. Freshman Avery Webster had the game-winning goal late in the game to put the dagger in the contest and grab the come-from-behind victory and the 4-3 win. Boys, after this game, would you say that things are looking up here for the women, and what can we expect moving forward? And, I mean, after the ending to last season where they made it all the way to the SUNYAC final, seeing this momentum kind of carry into this year, it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's nothing but good signs, I think, here for Oswego because, one, they had to fix a lot of errors that they had, and I think they fixed a lot of what happened last season. I think that their penalty killing was a lot better. In the beginning, it was a little rusty because when the Devilettes scored their first goal, they were on a power play, and they showed no, Oswego didn't even have a chance. 20 seconds in, they already scored. So I think Oswego fixed that later in the game, killing off penalties. I think they did a great job with the new freshmen stepping up because with the freshmen, with 6 seniors down, the freshmen were able to do a good job, and you saw the freshmen get the dagger. So I think it's nothing but good signs from here.
I think that's one of the things that you highlighted immediately is that the young players coming in and contributing immediately. And that's going to be really important for them to gel quick and be able to actually contribute to the game because if they're not getting in and they're not getting their run, they're not going to be able to mold to the system well.
And I do want to ask you guys this, though. The London Junior Devilettes, 15 and 16-year-olds going up against Division III college hockey players, and they have invited the Devilettes the past couple of years to play, and they've been putting on some really good showings against the Lakers, and I get it, they're from Canada, right? It's like the hockey capital is in Canada. But, I mean, they're 15 and 16 years old. Like, you would think that we're kind of dominating them from the puck drop. What is your take on that? Like, how concerned are you going in the season?
I understand that, but I still don't think it's anything to concern for them because, even though they're 15, 16, 17 years old, like, they're still good. You put pads on us, we're getting demolished.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think it's still a good sign to even to get those freshmen out on the ice in an actual game. It's also just a good sign that they're playing well as well.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to put a stigma on somebody and they're 15, 16, they're playing like that. But again, there's a reason why they're already playing against these D3 college girls. Like, it's because they can play. So I think that should also be acknowledged. We need to know that they're playing at a higher level than normal, I want to say.
Well, it's good to see the women starting to get back to that prominence that we've once known and loved. But moving to the men's side of the puck, the Lakers hockey team had a dominating showing over Nazareth College, 5-2. With major contributions from Tanner Spink and Josh Zizek, the Lakers cruised to victory and looked to be in midseason form outside of the goalie position. With 2 simple mistakes, star goalie David Richer let in both the Golden Flyers goals and left fans scratching their heads as this play was eerily similar to that of former starting goalie Cedric Hansen last season. Is there a cause for concern for Mr. Richer, or is this his starting spot and it's secured for the 2018-19 regular season?
What I'm doing is completely chalking this up to rust, okay? Because we definitely saw a similar start at the beginning of the other year where the offense was making up for some mistakes that the goaltending was making. So I wouldn't jump to conclusions on whether it's time to be worried about Richer yet because he was stellar through last season.
And you saw also he gave up the first 2 goals in the first period, and after that he was lights out.
Exactly.
So I think it was more of a rust thing, like you were saying.
Well, first 2 goals in the first period, he got pulled after the first period.
Oh,
they played all 3 of their goalies in each period of the game.
Through the first period, after the 2 goals early on in the first, you know, the goals were a little rough, you know, just kind of coming off the pads and letting up those rebounds, and then they were just there to pick up. Nazareth was just there to pick them up and score them. So, yes, those are fundamental mistakes that a goalie is going to make every now and then. And I think in a preseason game, especially in an exhibition, that's something that we can anticipate. And again, I want to chalk it up to rust, just because of the start that he had last year. Again, offense making up for some of those defensive mistakes.
You still have plenty of games.
Exactly. There's no reason to be, you know, throwing his jersey out the window yet.
But to couple with that, you know, guys like Richer have had time to play with basically everybody on the roster. We have 9 freshmen coming in for the men, and the only crucial senior that graduated was former SUNYAC Player of the Year, Maturlahi. You know, other than that, we still have Aaron Huffnagel, Michael Gillespie, who was scratched from the starting lineup with an injury last game. You know, we still have Josh Zizek. We have all of these guys that are coming back, and they've had the chemistry for about a year and a half now. Cam Barry, who has been pushed down the depth chart.
Yeah.
He is now the 3rd string center at the start of preseason, which I mean, good for Coach Gosek, because he's got a lot of options in depth.
Yeah.
And I would have never guessed that Tanner Spink would be the guy that scored 2 goals in that game against Nazareth, but he made a case for himself that when Huffnagel gets healthy, he might be right behind Huffnagel and Gillespie for a starting win spot.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that, again, we talked about with the Lady Lakers, is that there's a lot of young talent that's apparently coming in from everywhere.
Yeah.
And they are going to get their chances to play, and apparently they're playing. We don't know that they're playing better than the starters from last year and the key players from last year. We hope they are, because that's good news for us. And then if we can use the players from a nationally collegiate ranked team on the 3rd line, I mean, come on, guys. We don't
have to worry about even the goal situation.
We have promise. And I don't want to chalk anything up to Richer right now. You know, preseason game, get the rust off. Let's get going, kid. You know what I mean?
Should be interesting to see. I'm going to enjoy following the guys on the ice and the girls on the ice. And this week's sports preview, we're headed to the turf for the final time this year, as the field hockey team will face Cayuga tomorrow. Then from one type of hockey to another, the men's hockey team is back on home ice to take on the Carleton Place Canadians on Saturday. Boys, let's talk about it in the wise words of Machine Gun Kelly. What are we excited for the most with this week of sports?
Wow. What a lead-in.
Yeah. What are we excited for? What are we excited for?
I would say, again, even though that we just talked about that, I want to see how Richer comes in.
Yeah, you want to see how he does, because again, that was his first game again. Shake off the rust. I think he'll do better. I'm excited to see how that'll turn.
But what about the field hockey? You know, they've had a lot of close contests this year, and they're not making SUNYACs, which is kind of unfortunate, but they are playing Cayuga. So it could be an opportunity, especially for the seniors on the team, to capitalize on home turf, to get a W, you know, and I feel like it would mean a lot for that team just to kind of cap off that season. You know,
off on a good note.
Yeah, they have had a lot of really close games against a lot of really good teams, like your Nazareths, like your Hartwicks, like your St. John Fishers, that are just heads and shoulders better and the best teams in Division III. And Oswego has had a lot of close games, like I said. Yeah. So, I mean, you would love to see them have a really close contest.
And I think one of the things that's key for them that we've talked about in the past is the shots on net. I think they have to keep the pressure up on the field to be able to score more, because one of the things that we've definitely pinpointed that they've struggled on is keeping the pressure up and keeping the energy flowing. Defense, we've been doing really well, but shots on net.
Well, it should be interesting to see how it goes. When we come back, we talk Los Angeles, specifically the Showtime Lakers and the NLCS champion Dodgers. Don't go anywhere. You're watching OSU.
You know who's going off in fantasy this week? Drew Brees.
Brees with time.
You know, you guys are sleeping on Odell Beckham Jr., though. I think he's scoring 3 TDs this week.
And it throws it Beckham across the middle.
No, tell me, the Bears' defense is what's going to go off this week. I mean, holy
Chicago Bears.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride. First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America in your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Want to know all the latest things pop culture? Tune in to Let's Talk About It every other Monday at 10 p.m.
Welcome back to OSU. It's safe to say that LeBron James, as excellent of a player as he is, isn't the instant cure that a lot of people thought he would be to a young and inexperienced Los Angeles Lakers team. But a lot of promise is being shown from this Lakers side, although they have started the season 0-2, and without a lack of drama to pair with that. It takes time for every team to gel, but with a loss to the San Antonio Spurs tonight, possibly, there could be cause for concern. Did we overhype the Lakers, guys, and could we see a roster overhaul if expectations aren't met, kind of going like what happened with Cleveland last year?
I think that it is too early to tell. I think we have a lot of potential for that to happen, and I think that we can be thinking about that, but I think it's too early to anticipate that happening.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's 2 games that you can't tell by anything. But did we overhype them? Yes. I think we overhyped them incredibly. Adding LeBron James to any team, yeah, people are going to overhype. Because LeBron James, I think, arguably had a better core coming into Cleveland than he did right now in LA.
I would very much disagree with that.
How are you going
to
disagree
with that? A better core going into Cleveland?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You had a young.
Are you talking about the second time or the first time that he was in Cleveland?
What do you mean coming in? He got drafted.
I know. Okay, wait. Here's a fact for you: is that LeBron on every team that he started on. So when he got drafted by the Cavaliers, when he went to the Heat, when he took his talents to Miami, and when he went back to the Cavaliers, every single time that he has started that first season with that new team 0-4. So I don't think that there's absolute cause for concern yet.
I don't think there is. I'm just putting my opinion that I think with a young Kyrie Irving and a Kevin Love is better than who are you going to put next to him, JaVale McGee and Lance Stevenson?
Okay, well, JaVale McGee is leading the NBA
but I'm
in
saying
block
there's
shots per game with
players.
4.
Yeah. I'm just saying there's better established players to go
Better
with
established players. Kyrie Irving was 23 years old when he was playing with LeBron James.
And he was killing it.
And that's an established player in the NBA.
I mean, offensively, but you have two point guards that are all around. I'm talking Rondo and Lonzo Ball that are all around better than Kyrie Irving.
Rajon Rondo is not better than
all around better.
Can we just take it?
All around better.
Mike, please tell the folks at home what's behind curtain number 1. What's the answer?
Is this coming back?
Hey!
I don't like the sheet. Take it away next week. I don't like it.
What do you know? The answer is no. Rajon Rondo is not any way capacity better player than Kyrie Irving. No.
Kyrie Irving is one of the best, if not the best, scoring point guards in the NBA. Scoring, all right? His basketball IQ, his dribbling, his scoring is good. Okay, now let's look at everything else. So let's talk about a rebounding point guard, an athletic point guard, which I give to Lonzo. Let's talk about physical attributes. Lonzo's 6'6". You know, I mean, let's keep talking about the fact that he's a better defensive point guard.
6'6". That's not fair.
You can't teach 6'6", but you can teach better rebounding, you can teach better defense. You know, and Lonzo Ball is just a better athlete and a better defender and a better rebounder than Kyrie is.
And
not a better scorer.
And by eons, not a better scorer.
You're right, but I think that's the thing that makes Lonzo so great is that Lonzo's not a score-first point guard.
Okay, but his ceiling and capacity for scoring is nowhere near Kyrie's, and it never will be.
You're right, unless he tweaks his jump shot. Because you have to imagine
he did tweak his jump shot.
When he was that was because he went to the gym and he worked out a little bit. He even said that. He even said that in the preseason presser is that because his jump shot changed because he worked out. That was the only reason why, because he was
I
really
think
skinny his rookie season, and then he got a lot bigger going into this year.
I still think Kyrie's just a better scorer than Lonzo is.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm debating.
And a better point guard.
And just a better
And
point
a better
guard
point guard.
A better point guard.
Yes.
So you're talking about like passing the basketball IQ, reading the floor, being
basketball
a floor
IQ
general.
is one of the things that you gave Kyrie in the beginning of this.
No, because Lonzo is one of the closest things draft prospect-wise and early on in the career to Magic Johnson as we have seen. Besides the fact that
compare Lonzo to Magic Johnson.
There's a reason why Magic Johnson drafted Lonzo Ball, and it's because Magic Johnson or Lonzo Ball reminds Magic Johnson of himself. There's no other reason that with all of the other point guards that you could have drafted in that class, why Magic Johnson took Lonzo Ball.
If he had that much trust in Lonzo, LeBron would not be in LA.
That is a big fact.
But he doesn't need Lonzo to score the basketball. That's why LeBron is in LA, because Lonzo sets up everybody else on the team, and Lonzo cares about winning. Lonzo doesn't care about setting up other players. Or Lonzo doesn't care about scoring the basketball. He cares about setting up other players. Excuse me. Which makes him an all-around better point guard than Kyrie. And I'm not saying currently. I'm saying when they were both 20 years old and they came into the NBA, Lonzo Ball.
Kyrie scored.
Kyrie is having a much better start. Had a much better start to his NBA
100%.
career.
I'm just saying
that is an undisputable fact.
With his build and his all-around game, by the time he is 23, I think that he will be as good of an overall point guard as Kyrie Irving, if not better, in almost every single way.
I think Lonzo has potential. I think Lonzo's going to be a great player in the NBA. Is it too early to compare Kyrie and Lonzo? Possibly.
Why? They're only a couple years apart. They're like 4 or 5 years apart. So why are we not comparing these two?
I just think that Kyrie was just a better established player, and I think with LeBron, LeBron just pairs better with Kyrie.
I think that LeBron pairs better with players that know how to spread the floor.
LeBron would have a much easier time in the NBA right now if he was with Kyrie Irving rather than Lonzo Ball. Because as you're saying right now is that Lonzo is not looking to score first.
But neither is LeBron.
Right. Which is why he would need a more Kyrie player, is because he is getting older. That is an undisputable fact. He needs somebody else who's going to pick up the scoring that he's no longer.
And he has that with Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram and Lance Stevenson.
And let me get this straight: Kyrie Irving's not swinging at other players.
Yeah,
and he's not spitting.
Okay, that's the one thing. The one thing that I'll give you is that there's a lot less drama on this Cavs team or on this Lakers. Oh my goodness, a lot more drama on this Lakers team than what was on the Cavs team. I know. I'm still so shocked that LeBron's in a Cavs jersey, but that Cavs organization.
A Lakers jersey.
I'm not used to it. This Cavs organization was a mess, and then he went to the Lakers, and now the team itself is just kind of like a mess. Spitgate.
I'm gonna say right out of the gate. First of all, we did not talk about number one what Brandon Ingram did, which was unacceptable.
Yeah.
He pushed James Harden for no reason. Although there's a lot of things that people will talk about with James Harden.
Regardless of the pushing.
That's a different episode.
Regardless of the pushing and the punching, you don't spit on a man.
You just don't do
on
that.
or off the court.
And I mean, like it looks pretty like convincing that Rajon Rondo did something. Yeah. And then he swung at him.
Although, can we talk about the left hand though? I mean, like as a fan of basketball, that was entertaining to watch.
It was entertaining.
You know, Floyd Mayweather absolutely loved it. Yeah, it woke us up for sure.
And Travis Scott's like, let me get in there, let's get it, come on.
Floyd loved it. Floyd was on the sideline cheering it on. He wanted it.
He's like, Rajon, I want you next.
This spells.
I'm coming for you.
This is bad for LeBron. This is bad for LeBron because LeBron already had to deal with something like this. Notice that JR did not get in trouble the whole time that LeBron was in Cleveland, right?
I don't know.
And all of a sudden, and already he's getting fines every game. He's got a Supreme tattoo on his leg. Would he have done that without?
Well, the NBA is just owning his body at that point.
That's true.
But we are getting a little off topic.
Okay.
A little bit.
But I'm just saying, this is another thing that LeBron does not want to deal with moving forward. He doesn't want to have to be the dad and say, hey, come on, we got to sit down and stop this.
Yeah, I think, is it safe to say that the LA is overhyped? Yes, but they still got time, I think.
Should be interesting to see how the Lakers play out. In other Los Angeles news, for the second year in a row, the LA Dodgers have captured the NLCS crown and are headed to Fenway to face the Boston Red Sox in this year's World Series. Classically known for being the choke artists of the Major League playoffs, the Dodgers up and down the roster, from Clayton Kershaw to Yasiel Puig, have just disappeared at one point or another in those playoffs. But it seems to me that this Dodgers team has gotten hot at the right time. Guys, does this team have what it takes to take down the powerhouse that is the Boston Red Sox?
No.
Nope.
Why?
Not at all. Okay, I think Boston had a lot of tests in this playoffs because coming in, I was very skeptical of Boston. They proved me wrong 100% because they steamrolled through the Yankees. They steamrolled through the Astros.
Yes, they did.
Granted, Jose Altuve was probably playing hurt. But,
a little bit, yeah.
But, I mean, that Houston team is, like, great without even.
But so was Chris Sale. Chris Sale is probably going to need Tommy John at the end of the season.
Yeah,
and a new belly button ring. Can we get that in there, too?
Yeah.
A new belly button ring.
And I'm going to say for my predictions, look how I came dressed on the show. We know what my prediction is, okay?
Yeah.
But just so I can keep it fair and real, I do have some concerns.
Okay.
Pitching innings 1 through 7, we're fine. We can all agree on that. Red Sox are very solid
David
pitching
Price.
innings.
Well, he had that great outing against the Astros.
He's proven me wrong. He has proven me wrong, but he's still shaky.
Porcello's over a 4 ERA in the playoffs,
Yes.
which is a little shaky.
But I'm saying, in terms of core pitchers that are generally going to dominate the mound 1 through 7, we're pretty good, correct?
Yeah.
I would say Sale, Price, as long as he's not playing
Sale,
the Yankees.
Price, Porcello, Nathan Eovaldi, who somehow made it back from Tommy John and is
That's my man.
basically almost throwing 100 miles an hour.
What am I worried about? 7 through 9. Craig Kimbrell is... Yeah, can we...
Craig Kimbrell.
Come on. We ready to go? We ready to go right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a gross pitching stance, but he's all right.
I love it. I love it so much. But just the way he's letting up contact in those final innings, the fielding is saving him. That's really what's happening here.
Yeah.
He's not pitching well. He's letting up contact.
Yeah.
He almost choked against the Yankees.
Yes.
Big time.
Who are the Dodgers? A poor man's Yankees. And they will.
Well,
that are somehow still richer than the Yankees.
Fences or strikeouts is basically what
Fences or strikeouts with the Dodgers.
Until they get Bryce Harper next year.
I think.
Wow. Okay. Why did I say yes to that?
You. I think that with the Dodgers, it's either going to be, like you said, fences or strikeouts. And because they are a poor man's Yankees in that aspect, it could get very ugly.
It could.
Very fast.
Yeah.
What are your final predictions for the World Series?
Just going to take a little...
Betts can't win the World
second
Series
base.
by himself.
He's playing second base in the World Series, which is what he played in the minors. So it should be interesting to see how he dusts off the second base glove.
I think I'm going to do the rest of the shows like this.
Well, Bo, what are you saying, though? How many games? How many games? Obviously, you're going with the Red Sox. 4?
Camera, 4.
They're sweeping.
4!
I say Red Sox in 5.
Red Sox in 5.
I think that the Dodgers are just not prepared. I think that the Red Sox have just an all-around better team. And with the Dodgers, you have to rely on Clayton Kershaw, and they're going to overpitch him.
I think that it's probably going to be Red Sox in 6 because, well, you know what? I'll tell you my final take because when we come back, as much as it pains me as a Yankees fan, I'll be giving my final take on how this Boston Red Sox team could be one of the best we've ever seen. I'm holding back the tears. I'm trying, Bo. I am. Stay tuned. You're watching OSU.
When you are in space, you can't run down to the store to buy parts. You have to improvise with what you have on your mission. Making is when there is something new that was not in existence at the beginning of the day. Okay. It's an incredible sense of accomplishment when you have made something. That's why I make. Now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, Dustin Pedroia, Jason Varitek, Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell. I could go on forever about the amount of depth the World Series champs Boston Red Sox sported in 2007. 6 All-Stars and one of the best starting rotations we have ever seen, headed by Beckett, John Lester, Clay Buchholz, and Curt Schilling. With all of that being said, are we seriously, as the fans, going to ponder if this 2018 Boston Red Sox club is actually better than the Giants of 07? As much as it pains my inner Yankee fan to say, I genuinely believe so. And on top of that, this could be one of the best baseball clubs we have ever seen. 6 All-Stars, 108 wins, easily steamrolled the New York Yankees by historic numbers, and knocking off the defending champion Houston Astros in a measly 5-game set. If you were to ask most baseball fans, the Bronx Bombers and the Stros were the second and third best teams in baseball, and each had over 100 wins. And it only took the Sox 9 games to eliminate both of them. As I said earlier, this has the potential to be one of the best World Series we've seen in a long time. But to couple with that, it could get really ugly really fast. I'm talking sweep potential here, ladies and gentlemen. With the crucial resurgence of lefty ace David Price and the shocking recovery of Tommy John survivor Nathan Eovaldi, the consistency of Rick Porcello, and the pure dominance of probable AL Cy Young winner Chris Sale, it's hard to see any starting rotation keeping up with the boys in red. 3 Cy Youngs will head the Red Sox rotation after the season is done. And against a power-hitting team like the LA Dodgers that is fences or strikeouts like the Yankees, well, we saw how that series went. Even though the Dodgers are sporting one of the best pitchers ever in Clayton Kershaw, it'll be a tall task to outpitch those Red Sox, especially with Kershaw being the only starter to flash an ERA under a 2.5 on the Dodgers starting rotation. But don't discount those Dodgers. Last year, they threw Kershaw twice on very short rest out of necessity and ended pushing the series to a Game 7 against the Astros. So anything is possible, but with Los Angeles only batting .218 in the postseason and Boston's exquisite pitching and contact hitting 1 through 9 on the batting order, it's hard to believe that Alex Cora won't be lifting a World Series trophy in his first season as manager of the Sox, something Aaron Boone could not do with the New York Yankees. Next week, we'll be headed to Houston for Talk of the Town, and hockey will have its first regular season puck drop. Until then, I'm James Catato. Thanks for watching, and see you next Monday.
Hey, bud. Hey.
What?
What are you doing October 17th at 2 p.m.?
I don't know. What are you guys doing?
Funny you should ask, because we're actually watching the Media Summit Red Carpet Show at 2 o'clock on Wednesday, October 17th on WTOP 10.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
My family and friends are always with me, no matter where I may be. Sharing stories from home helps me sustain my recovery from my mental and substance use disorder.
Hi, sweetheart.
Join the Voices for Recovery. Our families, our stories, our recovery.
For confidential information on mental and substance use disorders, including prevention and treatment referral for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.